First, the top news headlines. All Manipur Working Journalists Union MZU stages protest against harassment of Union President Wakhemcha Samjai by NIA. Police foils protest by Manipur Pradesh Congress Committee workers at Raj Bhavan Gate. State Health Society Director launches World Breastfeeding Week at Directorate of Health Services. Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the MAMI TV English News Bulletin. I'm ALBINA RIAMEI. All Manipur Working Journalists Union MZU staged a protest yesterday at the Community Hall of Kaisampat, Laimazam Laikai against the harassment towards the President of the Union, Wakhemcha Samjai, by National Investigation Agency on August 2. The protest was jointly organized by MZU, Editors Guild Manipur EGM and Manipur Hill Journalists Union MHJU. Taking part in the protest, President of Indian Journalists Union, Gitartha Pathak, said President of MZU Samjai was summoned on August 2 by NIA over two-state scribe involvement with insurgents. He went to NIA office at 10 a.m. and was left in a tiny room for many hours. Later in the afternoon, an officer interrogated him about some insurgent groups till 5 p.m. He said MZU, EGM and MHJU called an emergency meeting and submitted a memorandum to the governor, the chief minister and the president of BJP Manipur. Gitartha condemned the harassment of journalists without any proof and appealed to the state government not to conduct such untoward activities against them.
Already the International Federation of Journalists has sent a letter to us. So we have replied. We have also told them that today there is a demonstration against the near summoning of the MZU President. So we will raise international voice so that government act to preserve the freedom of press. Media freedom is at stake here in India. You know, journalists are being summoned, arrested on many filthy grounds. So that is why the freedom of press index of India has come down frequently. So we will have to fight it back and we will have to move the international community so that the government respect freedom of press in India.
Meanwhile, all Bishnupur District Working Journalists Union also staged a protest at the temporary market shed of Bishnupur Market against the harassment of MZU President Wakhemcha Samjai by the NIA. Taking part in the protest, Vice President of ABDWJU, H. Roman, said there has been many incidents of harassing media persons. He expressed that such incidents will hinder the free speech of media, known as the fourth pillar of democracy. Hence, Roman appealed to the authority concerned and the state government to stop such harassment in the future.
ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗ ꯑꯌꯦꯠ ꯑꯄꯟ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯤꯔꯒ ꯂꯝꯗꯝꯁꯤꯗ ꯊꯣꯛꯏꯕ ꯄꯥꯎꯁꯤ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯊꯣꯛꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯀꯔꯝꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯪꯒꯅꯤ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯑꯆꯨꯝꯕꯔꯥ ꯅꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯒ ꯆꯥꯎꯈꯠꯄ ꯌꯥꯕꯒꯤ ꯂꯝꯕꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯃꯤꯗꯤꯌꯥꯅ ꯄꯨꯊꯣꯛꯂꯤꯕ ꯁꯣꯠꯊꯕ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯗ ꯎꯍꯟꯗꯨꯅ ꯊꯣꯡ ꯃꯥꯟꯅꯅ ꯆꯥꯎꯈꯠꯂꯤꯕ ꯃꯤꯗꯤꯌꯥꯒꯤ ꯊꯧꯗꯥꯡ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯃꯥꯡꯍꯟꯕꯤꯒꯅꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛꯇ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯖꯔꯤ.
A clash broke out between Manipur Pradesh Committee MPCC workers and the police while MPCC workers were trying to stage a protest in front of Raj Bhavan Gate today against BJP government as part of the nationwide protest launched by All India Congress Committee AICC against rising prices, unemployment and GST rate hike. Workers of different MPCC cells tried to stage a march protest from Congress Bhavan on BT Road to Raj Bhavan Gate. Personnel of Imphal West Police and City Police already stationed at Congress Bhavan Gate stopped the marchers who chanted slogans against BJP and carried banners. However, the protesters tried to overpower the barricade and police personnel. However, a team of Imphal West Police and City Police steadily controlled the situation. Talking about today's protest, President of MPCC, K. Megachandra, condemned the action of police for disrupting MPCC's democratic march till Raj Bhavan. People of the country are facing problems due to GST price hike in essential items and increase in unemployment among educated youths. This was hugely impacted the farmers, weavers and laymen of the country, he lamented. IACC is organizing nationwide protests against the atrocities of BJP towards the people. Adding that Congress is raising voices for the welfare of the people, Megachandra appealed to the BJP government to work for the welfare of the people and stop attacking Congress leaders.
पोचैगी ममन हेगले लोइना थबक फंगदबगी चांग हेगले तोंगान पे एजेंसी मैम सिंह पोस्टमैन डायरेक्टोरेट सीबीआई असिन सिंगबसे बीजेपी की खुलाई वइना सिजना रखपसिना अखोगी मरुइबा अखोगी पॉलिटिकल अखोगी लीडर सिंह ओपोजिशन पार्टी की लीडर सिंह मैम सिंह ते अटैक तौरपसे मसिगी प्रोटेस्ट तबोइना ngasi मणिपुर प्रदेश कांग्रेस कमिटीना ngasi अखोई गवर्नर की गेट ता थोमजनब होनबदा मणिपुर पुलिस ना थिंग बपीबगी दम अखोई नुंगाइते अखोई की डेमोक्रेटिक ओइबा खोलाव अखोई डेमोक्रेटिक ओइबा प्रोसेसन अखोई की डिमांड तौजबनी लेबाग सिना बीजेपी लेड गवर्नमेंट बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट असिना ngasi अखोई प्रजा सिंह की अवाब खम थेंगना यौरे पोचै की ममन हेंगले इन्फ्लेशन अखोई थोक्तना अदगी मिपुंग खुदिमक फार्मर सिंह दा अवाब पीरे अदगी तोंगान बा फिसाबी सिंह दा अवाब पीरे मिसम प्रजा मैम सिंह दा अवाब पीरकपसे लेपतना अवाब पीरकपसे खांग ngамदना ngasi मणिपुर की अखोई लेरिबा मणिपुर प्रदेश कांग्रेस कमिटी अमसुंग भारत की तोंगान स्टेट सिंगदा ऑल इंडिया कांग्रेस पार्टी ना मसी अखोई सरकार की मायोक्ता प्रोसेस तौबसिदा ngasi अखोई मरोइना पुलिस फोर्स मैम सिंगसिना नमपुदा अखोई की डेमोक्रेटिक ओइबा डिमांड से नमदनबो होनबसे अखोई पेंदे अखोई कंडेम तौई
State Mission Director of State Health Society, Dr. Somorjit Ningombam, launched the state-level World Breastfeeding Week 2022 today at his office chamber as part of the week-long observance. The observance was organized by Child Health State Health Society of Directorate of Health Services and Family Welfare Department under the theme Step Up for Breastfeeding, Educate and Support. Officials of district and state level attended the launch program virtually. Speaking on the occasion, State Mission Director Dr. Somorjit said mother must breastfeed their newborn child within 1 hour of delivery. Babies must be breastfed for 6 months after birth without fail, after which the babies can be fed other supplements along while breastfeeding for 2 years. Besides reducing up to 14% of child deaths due to diarrhea, it can provide adequate vitamin, protein and minerals to the child, he said. It is also beneficial for mothers, like increasing blood cells and bringing the womb back to normal size. Breastfeeding is beneficial to both the mother and the baby. Busting the myth about colostrums, Somorjit said it is nutrient-dense and high in antibodies and antioxidants to build a newborn baby's immune system.
Breastfeeding asi pokpoka within 1 hour adi manungda koi breastfeeding tawbiba masigi message asine akoina yawanningi si angang pokpa mama singda aduna masi exclusively 6 months first 6 months for the only breastfeeding to bio haiba masigi message asi am important noi koina thahum phare mabu thandre ke bija ji khosa ji si masi pabadagi phatabna hena lai kai gino da koina baby feed me am same maga pitapko photo pija extra food pija matam da diarrhea ki rate wangi infection to gi chang wangi ana masamu baba koi mama na puthokchaba breast milk adu da yauriba protein fats adagi vitamins ke ji loina artificial food that yaugde adana masi first 6 months for the exclusive breastfeeding to view in a message yawanjaningi.
A person died in a road accident last evening at the Beauty Kentrajit flyover bridge. The deceased has been identified as Kaisam Khomba, age 36, son of late K. Manihara of Kale Remkabi, Lamsanga Wang Lekai. According to police report, the incident occurred last evening around 7:40 when a Honda Activa bearing registration number MN01AE5696 coming Western Gate, Kangla, Imphal to Uripok site was knocked down by one swift car bearing registration number MN01AS4939 coming from the opposite direction. The driver has been identified as Sanasam Nongpok Nganba, age 22, son of Sanasam Bijoy of Lamsang near Bazaar. As a result, the rider of the Activa succumbed on the spot and both the vehicles got badly damaged. A case has been registered at City Police Station, Imphal West District. Ningmol Chakhoba Shillong has drawn the attention of the Manipur government to renovate the Manipur Bhavan at Laitumkra Boise Road in Shillong to relieve the problems faced by Manipur diaspora living in other states. Advisor of Ningmol Chakhoba Shillong, Athoba Kwaisam, has appealed to the state government to renovate the Manipur Bhavan in Shillong for the Manipuri people in the state at the earliest. The state has neither a hall nor a guest house, whereas Nagaland and Mizoram have their respective guest houses. As such, Athoba has drawn the attention of the state government to build a hall, public gathering place and a guest house for Manipuris at Laitumkra.
Aina ise Manipur Bhavan je siam nambi damta Manipur government da pilang khok tawjage Shillong da leiba Manipuri Maitai Manipuris punamakki lusingba natagana mayamgi mahut silaga ayang chitangare 13 August lakadoiba se tawgodoribani ado hall leitaba ai mayamgi riksi nungju panthasu oibani government na su mega government dagi masi mafam si loksal le ado element keke madudi loi clear oinar sengtoknare kui dabida engineer sing Manipuri engineer sing mam lapiram dana yengbiram ado ai hygienic body mafam si hall deidi ekoigi leibam chawam guest house amtang athu bada sabiraga mayamgi Manipur Shillong da leiba Manipuri jingjing ki awaba amtang hon bi haina ai haijege.
All Manipur United Clubs Organization Amuko observed 24th Manipur Integrity Day yesterday at Kwakaitel Akhamlekai community. President of Poirai Leimarol Meira Paibi Apunba Manipur Longzam Mem Chaubi, President of Amuko Pairoism Nando Luang, President of Amawova Umkhaibam Kunzarani, President of United Meitei Pangal Organization UMPO Umkhaibam Adil, and President of Maring Uparap Assembly KI Mamaring were the president members of the observance. Speaking on the occasion, President of Amuko, Nando, said the peace talk between Government of India and NSC and IM is a success for Centre's long-term plan and beginning the end for another militant outfit and Northeast. It has become evident that the peace talk has a negative impact on the people of Assam, Arunachal Pradesh and Manipur. As such, the Government of India is taking up different steps to threaten the territorial integrity of the state under the pretext of developmental schemes. People of Manipur are one who is mostly affected by the peace talk, which is continuing for the last 25 years. The day is observed every year to commemorate the historic mass protest rally participated by thousands of people of the state on August 4, 1997, organized by Amuko, Nando said.
Ceasefire no may count up sign tonaba, July Kunmanga sign tonaba say, Hapta Amanaga, Habiti Saidugi, Agaskitang, Amadagi, ceasefire is another however. Agaskitang, Amadagi, ceasefire is another Horga, Santi Wari Saba Homatamda, Agaskitang, Ani Ohum, Natraga, Agas Amadagi Borisu, Hibernamit, Nini Humnimatam, Yeramatamzida, Manipugi Miamzida, Akogi. Amuko gi thomising na yamna chatlaga mayam da sugumba thongdo ama lakadore haibasi haijeraga atu hatu na madunda madunda achouba leli ma chatpa ngam gibane ba meeting achouba ma pangthokdana matamdugi miyamna amuko da nungsibi ba ma thajabi ba loinana Manipur gi ngamkhai kaibagi chengnera ba ka puna ma thingnaba amadi Manipur gi apun masaktam ngakna ba honabagi thabakti na koi amuko na tobuna khwaidi sanagini haidana matamdugi tingi miyamna amuko da sinaram baduna ngasidi amuko na Manipur gi apun gi saktam ngakna ba honama matamda mapung meba thodang logjodo lakjari.
Thobal Forest Division organized a roadside plantation program along Yairipok Road to Pechi as part of Van Mahotsav 2022. RO of Thobal Range S. Samungo, Deputy Ranger of Mayai Kaithel Beat Office L. Dananjoy, BO of Yairipok Beat Office H. Shurendro, and residents of Yairipok took part in the roadside plantation program. The plantation is the concluding program of roadside tree plantation program organized at different places in Manipur by Thobal Forest Division under Ban Mahotsav 2022. BO of Yairipok Beat Office Surendro appealed to the farmers and people to take responsibility in taking care of the previously planted trees. Pumlan Lake Development Organization (PLDO) has expressed concern that about 80% of Pumlan Lake in Kaching district has worsened over the years. Speaking to media persons after an inspection visit to a lake with a team of media persons, President of PLDO Oinam Bikramjit said only 10% of the lake water is visible. He expressed concern that the condition of the lake will vanish if the state keep neglecting the lake, stating that land encroachment is not the only factor contributing to the deteriorating condition of the lake. He said unwanted grass in the lake and other agents have contributed to it. Besides fish farming, the local residing near the lake have not done any other activities to spoil the lake, expressing unfortunate that the government only focuses on developing Imphal City and Loktak Lake and ignoring other districts and lakes of the state. Bikramjit drew the attention of the state government to take up measures to save the lakes of the state.
Part asigi maramda media natraga cover chimda happening labadi passigi maramda phasana thiget piraga mayek chengna passi maramda khangla matungda cover media na singda hapiu madudi natadana passi maramda khangphatana awai khum tongloya ba pausing hapirabadi tungda akoida hapiri bachina top ongai singa aikoiga phataba kyam thropa ya haina yelde meke sengdokchari makhata na part asigi maramda akhum tongnaba yanabiba punma tawbiranu thadokpiro aduga raja sing meke degisu passi kanana bada sajok pibiu aduga sarkar gi meke desu part asi athu mudana kanbinaba thabuk throm Piu Hana, Pielo Makadegi, appeal to Jerry. Maruina, Manipurgi, Anisu part, Asawa part, Oliva, Umle Parasi, 80% young Nazik, Parasi, Sokile Havesti, a Miam, Punama Pumni, see Parasi, a how we sing a sea, quite soon 10% of Mangaire.
Popular Front of India Manipur State PFIMS Grand People Conference event to be held at Sangayumpam in Thoubal district under the campaign Save the Republic organized all over India have been postponed. Addressing the media at the office of PFIMS in Lilong Bazar, its President Muhammad Abdullah Hussain said the event is postponed according to a notification issued by the district administration on COVID-related law and other situation in the state. The campaign is held all over India with an aim to spread awareness on India's democratic and republic qualities to the people. He further said the Grand People Conference was planned to be organized as a concluding part of the campaign.
भारत की डेमोक्रेसी की सक्तम अमसुंग रिपब्लिक की मगुन सिंगबु मियाम ममांगदा पाक्तकना खंगननबगीदमक यामना फजबा कैंपेन अमा जनवरी की तांग 23 तगी नेशन वाइड ओइबा कैंपेन अमा तौबा हौरखी.
Police detained Priyanka Gandhi, Vadra and other Congress leaders from outside the party headquarters in Delhi today when they were protesting against unemployment and price rise. Dressed in black like other party leaders as a mark of protest, she earlier climbed over barricades to reach the spot where she held a brief sit-in before being taken away by cops. Her brother Congress MP Rahul Gandhi too was detained a little while before she was. The leaders were restricted to a hall in Kingsway Camp in GTB Nagar before starting a planned march to Rashtrapati Bhavan and a gherao of the Prime Minister House. Congress MPs led by party chief Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi wore black clothes to Parliament. Proceedings were adjourned as Congress members created an uproar over the alleged misuse of prop agencies and the government ignoring people's issues. Meanwhile, a statement from the party said its Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha members would hold a Chalo Rashtrapati Bhavan march from Parliament. Congress Working Committee members and other senior leaders also plan to take part in PM House Gherao. But the police barricaded key areas to disallow the plant on security grounds. The administration had imposed prohibitory orders banning large gatherings in parts of Delhi ahead of the Congress march. Citing these restrictions, police had denied permission for the protests. Hitting back at Rahul Gandhi, the BJP accused him of blaming Indian democracy and its institutions for the Congress' repeated defeat in polls under him and the ongoing ED probe against him in the National Herald case. Shortly after Gandhi's press conference in Delhi, former Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said the Congress leader made shameful and irresponsible comments and noted that it was his grandmother and then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi who had suspended people's democratic rights by imposing emergency. The former Congress president had earlier alleged that India is witnessing death of democracy and anybody who stands against the government's dictatorship is viciously attacked. Slamming him, Prasad said to stop demeaning the institutions of India to safeguard their corruption and misdeeds. The Samyukta Kishan Morcha SKM has warned the union government against tabling and passing the Electricity Amendment Bill 2022 in the Parliament ongoing monsoon session. Withdrawal of this bill was one of the main demands of the year-long farmers' struggle. On December 9, 2021, the union government had written to the SKM stating that on the provisions in the electricity bill which affects farmers, there will be discussions with all stakeholders or Samyukta Kishan Morcha. Only after the discussion with the Morcha will the bill be placed before Parliament. However, no such discussion has ever taken place in the last 8 months. This is therefore a stark betrayal of the union government's unwritten assurances, the farmers' body said. The Electricity Amendment Bill 2022 aims to ensure the entry of private companies into the electricity distribution sector, in which this will give them enormous profits by hiking power rates for farmers and for all other sections of the people in our country. Besides this, cross subsidies will be ended. Free or cheap electricity for farmers will also end. Further, the cost of production for farmers will rise and domestic rates of power in both rural and urban areas will rise tremendously. The jobs of electricity employees and engineers will be adversely affected. Another eventful day for the Indian contingent at the Commonwealth Games saw the medals tally increase, with more assured to be added to the column in the coming days. Para powerlifter Sudhir claimed the nation's 6th gold medal at CWG, while Murali Srishankar lived up to expectations on 4th August in Birmingham. The boxing stars also impressed and have been assured of medals as the likes of PV Sindhu, Kidambi Srikanth and Lakshya Sen progressed to the next round in badminton. The hockey men team progressed to the semi-finals, though it was a mixed day in squash. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated Sudhir for winning gold medal in para powerlifting man heavyweight event and M. Sri Shankar for winning silver medal in man long jump at Commonwealth Games 2022. A fierce battle is brewing in India, where Russia has undercut the price of oil from its OPEC plus ally Saudi Arabia, paving the way for Moscow to expand market share in one of the biggest crude importers. Russian barrels were cheaper than Saudi crude during April through June, with the discount widening to almost $19 a barrel in May. According to Bloomberg calculation, based on Indian government data, Russia surpassed the kingdom as the second biggest supplier to India in June, ranked just behind Iraq. India and China have become willing consumers of Russian crude as most other buyers shun its barrel. Following the invasion of Ukraine, the South Asian nation imports 85% of its oil seeds, and cheap supplies provide some economic relief as the country faces elevated inflation and a record trade gap. Before we end the bulletin, let's look at the top news headlines once again. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.
Tami Infotech, Hafiz Sapta Minuthong near Traffic Island. Store asida CCTV camera installation amadi servicing ahongba mamalda fangbigani. Laptop, desktop, printers amasung makhal khudingmaki accessories fangbigani loinana servicing gi khudong chabasu legani. Laptop brand makhal suna wholesale rate leibagi khudong chabasu bizari. Akupa marol gi damak 7899080602 amasung 8787378886 ta contact tobiro.
Welcome you all to Lunaco Residential School at Chanung, Imphal East. An exclusive co-education residential